taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, hundreds of billions, and we haven't even started yet. And it's going to be a great thing for our country. I think it's going to be a fair thing for the world.
President Trump is again expanding the list of countries facing new tariff hikes at the start of next month, and he's singling out Brazil with the highest rate in this latest round, pointing to the trial of former Brazilian leader Jair Bolsonaro, threatening 50% tariffs. The president says the witch hunt trial must end there. Bolsonaro, by the way, is accused of trying to stage a coup to stay in power after losing the 2022 election. But it doesn't end there. The commander-in-chief also announcing a 50% tariff on copper as questions swirl about when the tally stops moving. For more, I'm now joined by Republican Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma. Senator, as always, thanks for taking the time with me.
Good morning.
Just for straightforward starters here, are you bothered by the fact that more progress hasn't been made with these tariffs? I mean, the president promised 90 deals in 90 days, but you've got the UK, Vietnam, and a partial deal with China is all that the White House is working with right now.
Actually, they're working on quite a few other deals. I've met yesterday with Jameson Greer, the United States Trade Representative. I met yesterday with Howard Lutnick, who's the Commerce Secretary. They're very active in trade negotiations. There are about 12 different deals that are right on the edge of the knife at this point, trying to be able to work out the final arrangements for them. That's very significant for the United States because the focus from the beginning has been how do we prevent countries from blocking our products going to them? And the tool the president's used is saying we're going to raise tariffs on your products unless you don't open up your markets to American products. A lot of American manufacturing has been blocked out from around the world, and a lot of ag products have been blocked out from around the world. This opens up new markets for us and long-term helps our economy. So it's been a short-term pinch on a lot of these countries to be able to get a long-term benefit for our country. And I'm very optimistic, actually, in the next couple of weeks that there'll be multiple different new trade deals that'll be announced.
What do you make of the fact that the goalpost keeps moving back on deadline? Does that not make countries say, you know, we're not going to offer up our best and final by August 1st. He's going to move it again if we don't budge.
Well, right now, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes conversations with these different countries, and what the president's done is given a little more time. For instance, moving the deadline from July the 9th to August the 1st is a shift to say, hey, we're close on a lot of these deals. Let's finalize everything else on it, and then I'll give you till August the 1st, give you 3 more weeks on this to be able to get this resolved. So that's actually showing to me that there's actually good progress. It's typical negotiations. When you start getting close to the end, you need a little more time. You get a little more time on it to be able to finish the deal up.
Yeah, so we now have President Trump promising new tariffs on 22 countries. Are you confident that the White House will be able to secure nearly 24 new trade deals within that specific time frame that we've now been given?
Yeah. Trade deals are really hard to be able to do and complicated. As we've seen what the president has done over the last couple of months is lay out a marker, say, let's start negotiation, put pressure on countries to be able to actually come to the table and open up their markets to American products. When they don't get it done, if they're actually actively working on that and saying we're going to make progress on it, then he gives them more time. When he says you're not actively engaging at the table and not coming to the table, as we see with Brazil, he adds additional pressure and additional leverage points. He's also focused on how do we actually improve American manufacturing for a lot of our heavy products, steel, aluminum, and now copper. The Biden administration actually blocked out the production of additional American copper. But if you're going to build a house or build a business or build a motor or manufacturing or a lot of our technology products, you have to have copper for that. Yeah. It's a very important mineral. And so the focus now is what can we do to advance American copper? That's going to be not only trying to incentivize the production here, but that's going to have to fix the permitting process as well so we can have new copper mines and new production here in the United States.
Yeah, and what do you tell folks? Because to your point, I mean, copper is used in everything, from electric cars, your plumbing, any house repairs you're making. What are you telling people? What are you telling Oklahomans, too? You know, how do you prepare for some of those costs to get passed down to the consumer?
Well, this is a brand new piece that's just come out in the last 24 hours on it. I see completely what he is trying to accomplish on that. We'll see what that looks like in the market in the days ahead. There's not been this giant increase in inflation that a lot of people had predicted. We have had some products that have gone up, but many other products have gone down, and new markets have opened up. So the goal is we'll have a short-term turmoil for a long-term benefit on this, but right now the focus is we've got to have more American copper production, and we've got to be able to make sure that we're doing it. We can't have another other country, be able to cut off our access to copper in the days ahead, and then we can't do any of that manufacturing because it is a very, very important mineral to us.
Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out and keep an eye on August 1st. Senator, before I let you go, I'd be remiss not to ask you about the tragedy unfolding in Texas. I know that you started your career as director of one of the largest Christian camps in America, Falls Creek. I actually spent a couple church camp summers there myself. Would appreciate your perspective on this deadly disaster and what we're seeing in Texas.
I'd say it's incredibly painful. There are a group of us that are camp directors that we still keep in contact with each other and have been texting back and forth and communicating just our incredible grief and loss on that. Not only for another camp director, but all of us have worked in situations where we have the responsibility to be able to protect someone else's children. We know how important that is, and to be able to have that loss is just overwhelming grief for me. It's also the folks that were at the RV park that were just there for the 4th of July that had kind of disconnected from the rest of the world to be able to get away from a week, and then the river rose and just swept them away. So it's painful for all of us. I have actually gathered a group of folks together in Oklahoma with some groups in Texas to be able to pray together just this week for them and to be able to find practical ways that we can be able to help. So as folks are doing that, bless the folks that are actually on the ground right now as rescue workers and doing recovery, because it's very painful, difficult work, and bless those families who've had incredible loss.
Yeah, just heartsick for them in that community. Well, I know you've been checking on your neighbors to the south of you, so appreciate your take on that as well. Senator James Lankford, have a great day, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That does it for me.